The mere possibility that I'd had this all wrong for more than 3 decades, that who I thought I was as a result of that moment and who I became and the decisions that I made as a result of all of that could be wrong, started to crack inside of me. And when I finally got my breath back, I crawled into bed, texted everyone who needed to know that I would be out for the day, and started to cry. His story had opened a portal of healing for me at a depth that I had never experienced before. But I knew exactly what was happening. You see, story was saving me again, as it had since long before I knew it had the capacity to do that. Story started to reveal its salvific properties to me when I was in my late teens at the university, when that question, what if it's not true, threatened to shatter my entire worldview and made me feel things that I had no idea what to do with or even call. Enter The Matrix and The Lord of the Rings. Neo assured me those hard questions are necessary. It's harder to live in reality at first, but it's better than not. And no one, not even an oracle, can tell you who you are. You have to see it and own it for yourself. And then Frodo gave me someone to point to and say, that's how I'm feeling. What would you call that? And what is this heavy burden that I'm carrying? Story became a language and an opportunity for my best friend and I to do and develop what we would later learn was emotional literacy, to begin putting words, naming the feelings, feeling the feelings, and eventually being able to process those feelings that had been suppressed since moments like the one in my childhood. And then I left college. I was pregnant. And I had no idea that story was about to make itself the ultimate invitation for a deep connection with my son and the opportunity to unfold potential in a tiny little human and his mommy. You see, having lost my religious footing, I was really trying to figure out how to raise a healthy, happy, resilient, responsible, moral human without the dogma. I used everything that I learned at the university and education classes and psychology and the great classics to develop really powerful messaging and healthier interactions. What I was really worried about was protecting his mind and his heart from other people's stories until he was old enough and capable of thinking and choosing for himself. And so even though we made the requests, our family members, some of them just had a hard time honoring our request to not evangelize. And so one day he came home from one of their houses and said, "Mom, why don't we have a Bible?" And before I could lose my temper at the dining room table, my husband interjected and said, "We do. It's Avatar, The Last Airbender." Yes, the Nickelodeon cartoon. And I thought, oh my God, you're a genius. I have just spent 4.5 years learning how to wrestle with great stories and the themes and universe